Hey there, welcome to your Healthy, Happy Hip Mobility class. In this class, we're going to be exploring how to strengthen and improve the control of the joints of your hip. We'll do a fair bit of the low body as well, but dominantly into the hips. This is going to be a blend of functional mobility and yoga practices and takes about 45 minutes. I hope you really enjoyed this one, so let's just get on your mat and get at her. So we'll start in a seated position towards the middle of your mat. I'm sitting up on a bolster. Just find a place that's nice and comfortable for you. So sitting up nice and tall, we'll take three so-called physiological sighs. Exhale down to empty your lungs. And then take a nice big inhale, about half full. Then pause. And then inhale again, all the way to completely full. And then open your mouth and sigh, a long sigh, all the way down to empty. And we'll repeat that 2 more times. So inhaling till you're about half full. Pausing there. And inhaling again until you're completely full. And then exhale, let yourself empty all the way out. 1 more time like that, inhaling half full. Inhaling completely full. And long sigh. And then from that place, allow your breath pattern to come to something slow and normal and achievable for you. And simply reflect inwards as you're breathing slowly on your intention for undertaking this practice. So why have you come to this practice? What are you looking for? Let's get clear on that intention and practice in a way that really nourishes and supports you over this next 45-ish minutes or so. With that settled in, I like to always start my practices with a sound of the chimes. So again, take another big inhale. And a long sigh. And welcome, once again, to your yoga practice. So great to have you here. Let's come forwards onto our hands and knees to a tabletop position first. Let's move my stuff out the way. As you come to this tabletop position, take a few cat-cow breaths. This is what it looks like from the side. It's an inhale, lift your tail, lift your head. As you exhale, round, press the mat, tuck your chin, drive your pelvis forwards. And do that a couple times, inhaling to lengthen and lift and extend the spine. Exhale to round and press and tuck. And one more time, inhale to lengthen. And exhale to round. And then come back to a neutral position. And we'll step your right foot forwards in between your hands here. So coming to more or less a kneeling lunge position. You can bring your hands onto your knee if you like. Then come forwards as far as you can while keeping your foot flat. And then go back. Your toes might lift. Your hands might be down. So look something like this, going forwards, compressing the ankle, stretching the front of the left hip. Going back, letting the toes lift and feeling a sense of engagement on the back of that right leg. One more time, sort of forwards, a bit of compression and a bit of stretch, and back, a bit of engagement through the back of the leg. Moving into some ankle strengthening. We'll begin by driving. I like to use my right hand to drive my knee beyond my toes and get as deep a flexion of the ankle as possible. So pressing quite firmly there. And then from that place, keep that load on your right knee and drive your right ankle forwards 3 times. Keep the weight in the big toe. 1, 2, as far forwards as you can. And then 3, and hang out there. Drive the big toe mound down, the ankle more forwards for 3, 2, and 1. And then put the heel down. From this place, tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee and pulse it from the ground strongly. 1, 2, and then 3, and then hang out and fire up that left bum cheek a little bit for 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knee back down to the ground. And from here, bring your left foot towards your bum 3 times. 1, 2, and then on the third one, try to get your heel closer to your bum. Try to feel that left knee pulling forwards. You may get a cramp on your calf. For 3, 2, and 1. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, straighten your front leg. Let that cramping sensation dissipate. Then step forwards and step back with the left leg forwards this time and the right leg back. Same set of motions, so going strongly forwards initially and then back. We'll do this 3 times just to kind of warm up the joints. Come forwards, compressing, left side, extending right side. Go back, and again, forwards, and all the way back. Oh, that feels good. Come forwards and offer that loading up of the left ankle. So we're trying to drive that left knee beyond the toes as best you can to really press the foot into the ground. I guess a block could be useful right here, but we don't have one of those. And then pulsing the ankle forwards 3 times. 1, and keep the load in the left hand. 2, and 3, and keep driving it forwards for 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Heel comes down, back toes are tucked. Pulse your back knee up off the ground. 1, getting a good sense through the front of the hip. 2, and 3, and hang out. Drive that big toe mound down nice and strong. 3, 2, 1. Drop your knee down. And now from here, this is the fun one. It's called a couch stretch. Heel to bum. 1, 2, and then 3. And still trying to drive heel to bum and pull that right knee slightly forwards. Nice. And then tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, straighten your front leg, and step forwards and step back. And this time take your right leg out the side of the mat, nice and long. So into abduction now of the right hip. So it's a tabletop position, right leg extended out to the side. And it feels like you're pressing your right foot down and pulling it towards you. So the inner leg line is nice and strong here. Keep the left hand on the ground, inhale the right hand to the ceiling, look up, and then swoop that right hand under your left shoulder. Feels like you're tugging the right foot towards you, and then come back up again, inhaling up. Exhale, shooting through and sort of pulling the right foot towards you. One more time, inhale up. And exhale through and hang out just for a moment, trying to reach a bit further, press that right foot down a bit stronger. And then all the way up and all the way back down. From this position, let the weight go back, roll on your right heel, your right toes lift. It feels like you're pulling the heel towards your hips. So forwards, the foot comes down, back, you pull on the heel, again, forwards and back, and hang out on the third set, driving the heel down, trying to pull it towards you. Inner leg nice and strongly engaged. Beautiful. And then come forwards again. Stay on the big toe edge of your foot so your baby toe is lifted. And really engage that right hip. We're going to move from the right hip. Here comes the more challenging stuff. Lift the right foot leg off the ground. Now keep it nice and straight. 1, 2, 3. Keep it there. 3, 2, 1. A little challenging, eh? Little circles. 1, 2, 3. And then try to go the other way. 1, 2, 3. And then bring it up nice and high. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bring that knee back down. Step your left foot off the side and we'll rinse and repeat. Do the same thing again. Right hand's going to stay on the ground. Left foot's pressing down. It's kind of pulling towards you. Left hand up to the ceiling. The left hand swoops through under your armpit, and I feel that tug on the inner left leg. Inhale up, exhale through, and again, inhale up, and exhale through, and hang out. A little bit of tug on the left foot as you reach through and rotate the spine. Inhale up, exhale, hand down. 3 times on the heel, roll back, your toes lift and tug them sort of towards you. Go forwards, go back. Feel a sense of engagement there. Go forwards and go back and hang out momentarily. Fire up the muscles on the inner leg line a bit more. Trying to draw the head of the femur into your hip socket. And then come back to that tabletop position. We're on the big toe edge of your left foot. Baby toe edge is lifted. And from here we go, lift offs. 1, watch out for the plant. 2, 3, keep it lifted there. 3, 2, 1, draw little circles. 1, 2, 3, and go the other way. 1, 2, 3, and then lift it up as high as you can for 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Bring that knee back in, and then take your right foot to the front of the mat, kind of off the mat, pointing away from you, and take your left hand off the mat, fingers pointed away from you. Right hand on your knee, and here we're moving into external rotation of your hips. Draw some circles with the hip using the knee, maybe 3 times one way and 3 times the other way. Now let's apply some isometric resistance right here. Place your right hand on your inner knee and then press your knee open. So we're coming onto the baby toe edge of your right foot and pressing strongly with your hand right to your end range. And as you find the end range through hand pressure, also try to drive your knee back into your hand. So 2 opposing forces for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep that right hip nice and strong. Take your right hand to the ceiling and try to drive your right knee even more open. So see if you can find a bit more strength there without any force. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Switch sides. So left foot forwards, right hand off the side of the mat. Left hand on your knee. Draw some circles. 1, 2, 3, and go the other way. 1, 2, 3. Now taking your hip, left hip into external rotation, we press on the inner knee, we roll onto the baby toe edge of your left foot. We're trying to find how far we can go. So really press wide open, and then press your knee back into your hand. So 2 opposing forces, nice and strong, probably a bit longer than 3 count, but just keep pressing and resisting. Now for 3, 2, 1, and keep the engagement in the left hip as we take the left hand to the ceiling. Look up, try to drive that left knee even more open, and then boom, bring it back down. Bring your knees together, feet together, sit back, bring your hands to your heart. Pray for the class to be over. No, just sit back with your hands to heart. And then from here, work a little bit on your toes and the feet. Everything's connected, right? So a bit more low body stuff here. Come up on your knees, tuck your toes at the back, and then sit back and squish those poor toes. Come up, flatten your feet, and then lean back. Maybe your knees hover off the ground, trying to open the fronts of the ankles a little bit. Come up, tuck your toes, sit back, lean back even. Come up, flatten the feet, squeeze the heels, hover perhaps, opening the ankles. And one more, come up and tuck your toes, lean back. And now hang out here. We're going to create that good sense of pressure. I want the feeling like if these were your toes, your toes are pressing down and they're trying to pull back away from you. So nice sense of trying to escape the shape for 5, 4, it's hard on the toes, 3, 2, 1. And by hard, I mean beneficial. Come on up and flatten out those toes. And this time, tug your toes sort of forwards, lean back a little bit. I can't go much further than this. And do the opposite. So now the tops of the toes are on the ground and you're trying to pull them out from underneath you. So pressing down and forwards for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Tuck your toes one more time and bring your hands out front on your fingertips. We're going to keep your hands right there through this next set of movements. Press with your hands, lift your knees up and drive your body towards your legs. Sort of a downward dog on your fingertips. Then come back right where we started, knees down, bum slightly back. Press, lift, drive your body towards your legs, heels might touch down. One more time, knees down, and then up and back, and really drive the heels down. Try to straighten your legs as best you can, engage those muscles, and then walk your hands towards your feet. Bend your knees a whole bunch and wrap your arms behind your legs. Squeeze your knees together, squeeze your body onto your thighs, lift your bum up, and try to pull your head towards your shins. Give it a good squeeze. Use some muscularity for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on 1, inhale to a half lift. Pause, don't pass out. And then take your feet wide as the mat with your heels turned in and sink down as best you can into your version of a squat. So here's my version. Your version might be up higher, you might be up on your tippy toes, but just find your version of the squat. And then wedge your left elbow into your left knee, left hand on the floor, right hand to the ceiling. A little bit of a twist for the low back. Reach up, look up, and then unwind and do it again. Wedge the right arm inside the leg, finger to the ground, keep pressing, and then open up to the left, look up, stretch up, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. Nice. From here, bring your bum down and your legs out front. 90-90 stuff is where we're going next. So here, have your hands kind of behind you and very kind of lazily drop both knees to one side and then both knees over to the other side a few times. We're moving now into a combination of internal and external rotation of the hips. Once you're over to the left, set up a shape that's kind of 90-90 in its shape, 90-degree bends in both legs. Continue to lean back. Now lift the right knee up as far as it can go, and only then let the left knee follow. The right knee touches down, and then the left knee touches down. Again, left knee opens as far as it can. Right knee follows, left knee down, right knee down. Now you can do it with your hands behind, or you could do it with your hands at your heart. Right knee, right knee down, and turn your body, so driving that right hip more, or left hip more to the ground. So up, one leg, other leg, knee down, rotate. Again, up and over we go, and rotate at the end. And one more time, up and over we go, and rotate at the end. From here, again, come back to that rough 90-90 shape. We're over towards the left-hand side. And glance, we can lean back as well, just to start. Hands at the heart just makes it more challenging. You can try it. Focus on the right knee. Lift your right foot off the ground. Then lift your right knee off the ground. Then extend your right leg straight out, engaging the muscle. And then bend the knee in, drop the knee down, and drop the ankle down. We'll do 3 more of those. Foot up, knee up, leg straight out, leg bends, knee down, foot down. Again, 2 more. Up with the foot, the knee, the leg, trying to control the movements. Bend the knee, knee down, foot down. Let's try one with our hands at the heart. What the heck? Foot, knee, leg, bend, knee, foot. Oh my goodness, how was that? Got to do it on the left side. Let's go there. Boom, boom. Find the left side, set it up. Have some good form here. And we're going to keep now the left knee down. Lift the left foot up. Oh my, this is harder on this side. Left knee up. Leg extends nice and long. Leg bends. Knee down. Foot down. 3 more. Foot, knee, leg, bend, knee, foot. 2 more. Foot, knee, leg, bend, knee, foot. And oh goodness, I'm going to give it a try with my hands and my heart. Well, here we go. Don't know if it'll happen. Foot, knee, leg, foot, knee, foot. Nicely done. All right. Let's come back and through to the left. Boom, boom. Now here, something that most bodies, other than surfers, interestingly, I found this out, most bodies are kind of challenged to move into internal rotation at the hip. So looking at your right leg, the one that's behind you, hold on to your foot and bring that foot up as high as you can so that we're pushing or pulling our hip into internal rotation is what we're doing here. And now fire up the muscles of your right hip. And here's the hard part. Let go of the foot without it dropping too much. So drive the knee down, the foot up strongly without using your hand for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Boom, down it comes. Other side. Here we go. Internal rotation of the left hip. Left knee stays down. You try and grab that left foot. This is where a strap could be useful. Kind of depends on sort of bodily anatomy here. So driving the knee down into internal rotation and then trying to keep the foot lifted without using your hand for 5, 4, keep driving it into internal rotation, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Unwind. Flip-flop those legs and then extend them straight out front. I have to keep moving which way I'm facing so you can better see what I'm up to. Now we're moving into flexion of your hips, so the muscles at the front side here. Leaning back, perhaps a little bit, point your right toes, and then lift your right leg as high off the ground as you can. 1, keep it straight. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then keep it right there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Point your left toes, lift your left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Squeeze both heels together. And now, of course, you know, this is the hard part. Let's do this. Both legs up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stay at your end range as best you can for 5. Squeeze the legs together. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop them down and find straddle pose right away. So legs nice and wide. And then folding forwards a little bit to offer a little bit of extension into the inner leg line here. And hang out a little bit passively for a few moments anyhow, letting things soften up. A slight internal rotation of the head of the hips could be useful, so rolling the big toes more in will accentuate kind of the work that we're trying to do. Hang out there, enjoy this break. Nice. We'll start to move into cool down fairly soon here. Slowly come back up. Let the toes be upright. Turn your body towards your right leg, one hand either side of the upper thigh. Now this is a try thing. Lift the heel off the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep it there. Getting a cramp. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Turn to the other side. Sit up nice and tall, belly in, chest nice and proud. Pulsing the leg off the ground as best you can. Even just try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And keep it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bring it back down. Bottoms of the feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Hold on to your feet. Sit up taller. Pull forwards. Elbows to knees or elbows to shins perhaps. And just hang out there. You could have your hands like on the feet as I have here, or maybe all the way up towards the knees. Just taking a little bit of release for those hips. Nice. And then extend legs out front. I think we'll do it this way. Now moving into more familiar yoga territory, I would say. Janu Shashasana. We'll bring your right foot to the inner left leg. Right knee drops down as best it can. Left toes back towards you. And now sit up nice and tall. And then hinge over top of that left hip crease, reaching towards the foot. And then bending your elbows and letting your forehead come towards your knees. Now, if that's not possible, this is where, a strap could be helpful. You could use the strap to draw your toes back towards you and just simply fold forwards. The idea, or the activations that I'm looking for here, is that the heel is shooting away from you, the back of the knee is driving down, and the hip is kind of remaining in its socket. So the whole back line of the leg is nice and strongly engaged. Forehead to knee offers a little bit of thoracic rounding and compression of the throat. Not really our area of focus in this practice, but it feels good. Nice. And then let's slowly sit up and switch sides. So right leg out, left foot in, pressing foot to leg, leg to foot, toes back towards you. I like to sit up tall, get out of that hip crease, and then reach forwards towards the foot. Of course, if you don't have a strap or you can't quite grab your foot, grab your shin or put your hands on the mat. Fold forwards, shoot the heel away from you, drive the back of the knee down, and then maybe forehead towards your knee. And hang out there for a few breaths, helping to let the body find its way. Nice slow breathing as well. Maybe remembering what your intention was. Why did you come to class again? Are you doing that? Don't beat yourself up. Just check in. Nice. And then slowly sit up again. Extend both legs out front. So Paschimottanasana, intense westward stretch this is called. So again, the strap could be useful if you had one, or a belt or a towel or whatever the heck. Sit up nice and tall, fold forwards, reach towards your feet. You could grab the baby toes or the big toes or the shins or the mat. And in this particular shape, try to avoid tucking your chin and rounding your back, but more yearn your gaze towards your big toes. It's just a hip hinge. And you can, if you do have a hold of something, you could bend your elbows and extend the spinal column just a little bit. Toes back towards you, heels away from you, backs of the knees down. Even the muscles above your kneecaps are engaged and drawing up towards your hips. Good tug. Nice. And then slowly, slowly come on back up. Lean back. Bring one foot in, the other foot in. Stay leaning back, and then simply lift your bum up. Press your pelvis up, head back, and then let your bum come back down. Do that a couple times. Bum up, head back. Extend through the fronts of the legs, down. And one more time, bum up, head back, and down. Gets a little bit into the shoulders. From this place, walk your feet together, knees together, hands behind your knees. Sit up nice and tall, lean back, and float your feet off the ground. The dreaded Navasana, boat pose. And from here, slowly extend your legs and your arms, and slowly, slowly as you can, lie down on the ground. And as you come down, let your feet come in, flip-flop your knees a few times, side to side. Similar to that reverse tabletop, moving into bridge pose now. Walk your feet in until you can just touch your heels with your fingertips. Knees are about hip width apart. And I like to start with my elbows bent. So elbows are beside the rib cage, pressing down, palms facing one another. And simply press with your feet and your elbows, lift your bum up. And feel that good sense of engagement through the front of the hips, the glutes, nice and strong. So feel the hips, the head of the front of the hips getting a nice sense of engagement here, a nice sense of activation. And if you want something a little more juicy, you can take one hand down, tuck that shoulder under, other hand down, tuck that shoulder under, make a fist under your back, and keep driving the pelvis up nice and strong. Find the breath there. Yum. And then slowly unwind, release your hands, release each vertebrae, and then flip-flop those knees side to side. Piriformis stretch. Now here, hopefully this makes sense. We're still kind of in that bridge setup. Let both knees drop over to the right. And then take your inside or the outside edge of the right ankle and hold your left knee down. So we're hooking the knee down, holding the left knee down with the right foot. Both knees are moving towards the ground. Send your left hand out to the side, look to the left. And this is addressing the piriformis muscle from the low back to the outer edge of the hip. Also a bit of interest, I guess, for the IT band on the left leg. But allow the body to slowly soften and relax into the shape. Feel those slow, regular breaths. Letting your nervous system calm down a bit. It's kind of challenging to calm my body down while I'm talking all the time. Maybe I'll have to do this class again afterwards. All right, and then slowly unwind, knees bent, little flippy flop. And then we'll take both knees over to the left this time. And now we use that outer left foot or ankle to hold the right knee down. Send the right hand out to the side, look to the right. I won't look that way because I won't be able to see you. And then just let that sensation slowly soften through the right hip all the way through to the sacrum. So I am actually recording this particular live stream, and I'll be throwing it up on my YouTube channel if you look up there in a few days if this worked for you. I'm going to probably need to do it myself. Nice. Finding that slow, regular rhythm of breath. Trying to get past any kind of twitching or suffering that might be happening in the musculature. Yum. And then lastly, let's take a more classic spine twist. Come back to that knees bent position, but this time keep the feet and the knees together. Shift your hips, let's shift them to the left, and then drop both knees over to the right. Use your right hand to hold the knees down, left hand sticks out to the side. So now we're working a little bit more into the mid back, the low back, just dissipating any tension that's there. As you know, as I said, this wasn't really the focus of the class, but it helps to settle our nervous system, doing a twist towards the end of practice. Yum. Slow inhales and slow exhales. And then let's do it the other side. Come back to neutral. Hips shift a little to the right. Both knees go to the left. Extend the right hand out. I'm using my left hand to hold my knees down. Look to the right. And let that low back, mid back, a little bit of the outer hip as well, get a bit of a release. So I've got a couple more mobility classes coming up. One on Monday, I think, at 11 o'clock, a whole body mobility practice. We'll do some of the things we did here. And next Thursday at this time, I'll do a shoulder mobility practice. So hope to see some of you there. Nice. And then unwind from there. Nervous system reset, this is called. Come onto your back. Take both arms, both legs up to the ceiling, and very slowly rotate your wrists and your ankles one way and then the other way. Snap, crack, pop. Spread your toes and fingers really wide and then squeeze them together. Spread, squeeze, maybe twirl and spread and squeeze. And lastly, the fun part, just shake it off, be goofy, shake your wrist, shake everything. This is dissipating all the lymphatic fluids that may have built up in the arms and the legs back down to the body so they can be dealt with. Give it a good shake. And then slowly, slowly lie down. Feet flop open, hands flop open. Savasana. So in Savasana, I'll guide you through it. Eyes are closed. Allow your forehead to relax, your eyes to be soft. Relax your cheeks. Separate the teeth in your mouth. Even your tongue drops away from the roof of your mouth. Back of the neck, nice and long. Nice and broad across the upper back, all the way out to your fingertips. Hands sort of flopping open. And then down the spine, either side of the torso, relaxing. Hips flopping open. All the way down to the feet, flopping open. And then simply in this rested place, watching your breath rise and fall slowly. And enjoy that for a couple of minutes. Breath slowly rising and falling. Allowing your exhales to deepen, to lengthen.
And noticing how the body softens as you exhale. And as we move towards the conclusion of the practice, notice how you feel now. How do you feel physically, your body? How do you feel mentally? How's the mind? How's the heart? What's happened as a result of this short, curious practice? Always taking notes. This is very much what yoga is about. It's a self-inquiry practice, and so inquiring within as to what's happened for you. And with that, feeling a sense of gratitude towards yourself, towards everybody else that shared this moment in time together. So good to have you all here. Let's conclude our practice with a shared breath. Nice big inhale. And a long sigh. And thank you once again, my friends, for sharing this time and space together. So lovely to have you here.